AShinyObject.
So this thing's official name is longer than my outlook on life, so I'm just going to say that Red Godzilla -1 is standing slightly over 6 inches tall, just like the rest of them. And this is essentially the original -1 tag, just without the early 2000s alt-rock single artwork for the background, because now it's red. And hey yo, look at this. I don't know if that says video game version or fucking what, but it will say Godzilla 2023, and Godzilla 2024.
Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up! Nobody gives a shit!
Here's the back of the tag. Here's the inside of the tag. And now we have to double sleeve it because it's a Godzilla store exclusive and yada yada yada. You guys already know all too well. Yeah, here's the figure. It's the Godzilla -1 figure in translucent red vinyl with black accents, which will exist on his pawed little hands, his gigantic fuck-off toes, and the very tips of his spindly dorsal fins moving into the tail, and believe it or not, they move all the way to the tip. Other than that, this figure is an absolute detail show. There really isn't any paint whatsoever to marvel at. I mean, I personally really enjoy the two-tone nature of the figure. I mean, black on red is just cool. Look at Shadow the Hedgehog. Bro's been cool since his debut. It's just, like always, I wish Bandai went a little bit harder on these blackened accents. Minus Goji is a very bumpy and textured guy, and seeing more of this on his very bumpy and textured body would have probably made people a little bit more gung-ho about this release. I really do wish that the eyes, the teeth, and the mouth got a little bit of something. I realize that's asking for possibly too much, but at the very least, I think it would have been really cool to recreate all of that scarring paint on the red boy with that light black paint. That absolutely would have hit very serendipitously. To be completely honest, I think I still prefer the theater exclusive version because he's blue, translucent, and glittery, but to have these two together, it's the Slushy Bros. It's cool. I have seen a small handful of people surprised that I haven't gotten the golden one and the jungle exclusive one yet, seeing as how gung-ho I am with Hedorah and Shin Godzilla, and the honest answer to that is I like the -1 design, but I maybe don't like it as much as I like Shin Godzilla and Hedorah. Hedorah I've loved since I was a young child, and Shin Godzilla, the love has been there for nearly 10 years now, so where is I going with this? Shokugan, Monster, Festival Limited Movie, Theater Limited Movie, Box Set Limited Movie technically-ish, kind of, Premium Exclusive Monster King, HG, Finger Puppets. And in terms of articulation, not too much is going to be changing from this one or the others I've talked about at large. It's the same figure, different mold, different paints, minimal paint. And I guess the only thing left to check would be translucency, and as expected, he is very, very translucent. Really curious how the dorsal fins are gonna look. Oh yeah, that's actually really cool. That solid black paint really does just, oh man, that's awesome. Granted, it's not as critically noticeable as it is with the lights on and under the right amount of lighting. Hell, it barely even shows up on the smaller dorsal fins sporting black paint. Okay, I might have been wrong there. It does show up a bit, but yeah. Seriously, this would have looked so much cooler with the black paint outlining all the scars across his body, even just the bumps and grooves. I do like that the light travels, like, directly through him very, very easily, though. It's -1 Burning Godzilla. Yep, that's it. Yet another card. I actually got one with bagging too, and I forgot to talk about it. But I also got one of them postcards. And I don't know, I think this is pretty cool to have. I mean, it's just a postcard. There's nothing like special about it, but it is not for sale. But hey yo, wouldn't you know it, we're still not done yet because I got a very tiny envelope. Within this envelope exists the exact same thing as that thingy right there. This is actually the download card for a free copy of Godzilla Voxel Wars. It's got the code on the back and a bunch of instructions that I can't read, and lo and behold, the code does not seem to work. Yep. But then...
Made a second account on Switch, selected Japan as my region, and the code worked. Thank you, Michael, the articulation series. This is all because of you.
Michael bringing me such happiness beyond just letting me buy figures off of him. Oh, and did I mention?
It's in English. I'm gonna fuck off. Is that a giant mushroom? Oh, and green is... He's so chunky. Are those fucking mushrooms? Oh, and Google died. Oh, Godzilla died too. Pick up Goji. Oh, I'm missing the backstory. Oh.
And Ayo, not gonna lie, Voxel Wars ain't a half bad little puzzle game. It's just got a Godzilla spin on it, and for the most part, you're mostly just fighting mushroom monsters and not all the time Godzilla monsters. I did just befriend Rodan, and that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, before I forget, this version of Godzilla -1 is actually going to be a playable model in that of Godzilla Battle Line. I cut that thing out of my life very quickly once I felt the need to open it up every 15 minutes while at work. But yeah, I'm sure Sir Melee is probably covering that or already has it or has a whole fucking stat breakdown on it. I can't see anybody really upset if they missed this. Maybe those of you who are deep red color lovers would be upset about this, but for the most part, I think the general public is just kind of tired of remolds and repaints and the whole ishkabibble. To which I say, I don't disagree. I'm a big fan of remolds and repaints, but I'm more so a big fan of remolds and repaints that I can actually make a layered video on. Like video game bagging. The Reds have it. But anyway, I've been ShinRobJira. I hope you all enjoyed. And unless something ships out, my next video should be the SH Monster Arts Godzilla -1 reissue figure. Until then, until later, I'll see you all then and there. Peace.